This is the audio interface that I recommend to pretty much anybody whenever it comes up into conversation. And the reason why is because it's just reliable. I've had a different Focusrite audio interface now for 9 years. Still works just like the day I got it. It's a separate one. This one is pretty much the exact same quality. It's got this solid aluminum or steel alloy chassis. You got your 1/4-inch inputs for guitar and bass, violins, instruments like that. You got your XLR input for your microphone. So this is guitar and this is a microphone. And then you got your gain, obviously, that controls the gain, as you might imagine. So that means it's clipping, and that means it's good. And I want to tell you right away what I like about this. And that's that this audio interface, it handles active pickups very well, which is a nice feature. I find that some audio interfaces don't really like active pickups. You have to turn down your pickups quite a bit to compensate for the higher output pickups. And higher output just means that the signal is, too strong for the audio interface. And that's super annoying when you have that, because pretty much all my guitars have active pickups. But this is for your instrument. That's when you're hooked up to a guitar or a bass. And that's just for when you're using a line level device, so like a microphone. This is an air. And in simple terminology, this is just gonna boost your high end. It's just gonna give you like a high end clarity. It sounds really cool. Then you have direct monitoring. What that does is that bypasses your computer, so you can listen to your guitar before it gets into your computer, so that way there's zero latency. Now, I've never had latency with this audio interface ever, so I've never had to use a direct monitor, but there's definitely some applications for it if you were having problems. For instance, if you were to connect a guitar processor and you wanted to eliminate all traces of latency, you could switch this on and you'd be good to go. That's mono and that's stereo. So it's pretty cool. Then you got your 48 volts. That's phantom power. So that's for condenser microphones. And this is your monitoring button. By the way, I got a present for you. Go to producersociety.com/free mixing cheat sheet. That'll put you on my list to get a free mixing cheat sheet. And I send all kinds of cool tips and stuff that I don't share anywhere else. You can also join my forum at forum.producersociety.com. For now, it's totally free to sign up, but in the future, I'll probably lock it down and then turn it into a full course platform. Or your dial, your monitoring dial. And then you actually control your volume with this here. This is more for the direct monitoring button. And then you have your outputs on the back. And then you also have a USB-C cable connection, which is great. It's nice to see audio interfaces adopt that technology. Really all devices, because let's be honest, that's kind of where everything is headed. Then you have your outputs for, if you wanted to connect more headphones or some speakers. You can connect a headphone splitter here, so you could have, 6 pairs of headphones if you wanted to. Another thing I really like about it is that it's heavy enough where it's not gonna move around. So the weight of this cable, it's not gonna pull the audio interface off the desk, because it has enough weight and it has these rubber pieces on the bottom that are gonna stop it from moving around. But let's talk about what I don't like about this audio interface. And that's that, one, you don't have more outputs. Now you can use a splitter, as I said, but there's no MIDI. So many professional audio interfaces will have MIDI back here, and I prefer that because I like to connect my my piano keyboard and use it as a MIDI controller instead. So the fact that this doesn't have MIDI on the back, that's like a pretty significant flaw for me. And that's the reason why I'm using the old school Focusrite over there, the 6 USB. It does have MIDI connections on the back, and I'm using that to connect my piano, which you can see over here. But yeah, I never have any issues in terms of sound quality. Like, it pretty much just always sounds exactly the way that it should. And then you can also use it for your mic, just like so. So all in all, I think this is an excellent audio interface, and really glad I got it. And I have about 5 of them, like 5 audio interfaces in total. And I'm glad to have this as a backup.